Hello everyone and welcome to White Jasmine Everyday Cooking. I'm Huma Siddiqui, and as you know, I just love to create simple, easy but delicious recipes. So today we have a wonderful menu, like always. I'm going to make some basmati rice with these beautiful red and green peppers and some cilantro. So the rice is going to be very colorful, very flavorful. Of course, we'll add a few spices to it and just make it just wonderful, the sort of the center of the menu today. And then I'm going to make some chicken on the side with our saji masala, which is a combination of 7 different spices. So it has more of a chipotle barbecue flavor, and that's going to go on the side, and some zucchini strips with a little bit of a whole cumin, a little bit of ground cumin, and very lightly sauteed. Very quick dish to make, and if you like zucchini, you will love it. If you don't like zucchini, it will be a good time to try it. So that's what I'm going to say. So again, warm up your pan. And always with rice, use an open pan, not so deep, so that your rice can cook very well and on all sides. So just warm up your pan, add a little bit of canola oil or vegetable oil. Again, never add anything to a cold pan, because you're not going to get that flavor that you're really looking for. Because what happens is, when your pan is warm and you add a little bit of oil and wait maybe 30 seconds or so, once you start adding your whole spices, it's going to start blooming, and all the flavors are going to get infused into your oil. So it's really, really important. Please take that time, just a couple of minutes within each step, and you are going to just love the journey, what it will create. So add some bay leaves. So let's add some whole spices. Couple of bay leaves, some cardamoms. So I like to use the green as well as the black cardamoms, which are the larger ones. And this is what it's going to do. It's just going to create this beautiful flavor before you have even started adding your ingredients. I mean, who wouldn't like that? Just add some cloves, and it will start to smell just heavenly in a minute. And once that's working, I'm just going to start chopping my peppers. So just a red pepper. Look how beautiful and fresh that looks. And what you want to do is just kind of open it up, take all the seeds out, and just chop it. So slice it, and then we're just going to dice it a little bit and throw that in there. Think about the colors. Think when you are creating a menu or even a recipe, think about the flavors, think about the colors. These are all very important ingredients for your food. I mean, food has to look pretty. Who likes ugly food? I don't. Especially if you're trying something new, you definitely want it to be pretty and tempting. So just chop it, and let's throw that in here. There goes the first layer of color. Hear that sizzle? That's a good thing. Then some green pepper. A sharp knife, a good chopping board, you're set to go. And again, slice it. And don't worry about that every piece has to be the same size and all that. I don't know why people make cooking so stressful. I just don't understand it. It's pretty easy. You just let the ingredients do their job. All you have to do is just remember that your flavors are right and your colors are right. And that's all you have to worry about. Put on some music, make a cup of tea, enjoy the journey. There, just a little bit more. We are going to add some cilantro and then basmati rice. And if you're learning to make rice, basmati rice is really the key. It's very simple to make, very flavorful. So start with that. It will take a few times to get it right, but like anything else in life, just have to practice a little. All your colors are in. Let's add a bit of cilantro. So take a little bunch and just roll it and then chop it and throw that in there. Easy enough, right? And this rice is just going to be delicious, very fragrant, and very beautiful. There goes your cilantro. And don't throw like 2 sprigs of cilantro. That's not going to do anything. Take a bunch. Add a bit of salt. A little bit of turmeric. Very good for you. Very healing spice. And it also adds a beautiful color. So why not? And then I've rinsed the basmati rice just very gently. Now here's one thing that you have to remember when you're making rice. You have to be very gentle with it. You can't be, stirring it too much or washing it too much. It's going to break. If you want good rice at the end, just be gentle. Just rinse it a couple of times. Throw that in here. And the grains are going to be long and very nice, very fluffy. We'll see. We'll show you in a minute. Add some warm water. Again, if you're like me and don't like to measure anything, just eyeball it. But if you like to measure, 2 cups of rice, 3 cups of water. That's what it's all about. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to start making the chicken, and I'll show you what the rice does. So don't go away. Welcome back to White Jasmine Everyday Cooking. We are making the rice here. It's looking very colorful. What you want to do is make sure that it comes to a boil, and once it does, put it on low heat, cover it, and just forget about it. For like at least 10 or 12 minutes, you don't have to look at it at all. Focus on something else during that time. Because it's really important to leave the rice to cook, to let it do what it needs to do. Simple as that. So let's get this one started. And again, just leave your pan to be a little warm. While it's doing that, I just want to add a few spices to our chicken. So this is just boneless chicken, and I've cut it in small strips. What you want to do is add a little bit of salt and some of our saji masala. So a bunch. That's what's going to make the flavor. A little bit of chili powder for that heat that I love, and a little bit of turmeric. So all these ingredients are just going to sit in here for a little while and make the chicken very happy. So let's, it is going to be, you will see. Just add a little bit of olive oil to make sure that your spices are kind of getting in there. And we'll set it aside for just a few minutes until I can get the onions started. So what is important is the sauce, right? So the sauce actually gets into your meat or whatever you are making, or vegetables, whatever it is. But the sauce is one of the most important part of your recipe. So again, some olive oil, a warm pan. Make sure it's coated well. Add some whole spices. So what are we going to add? Green cardamoms, as always. So if you've been watching my show, you should be very familiar with these spices by now. And if you're not, I don't know what to say. Because I don't know what else to do. I'm just, that's all I can do. So please pay attention and use these spices. They're going to help you. Some whole cumin. And let it sizzle for a little bit. I'm just going to lower the heat a little bit until I can chop my onions. So let's see. See this gigantic onion here over here? That's what's going to bring all the flavor. So I'm just using a yellow onion. It's simple, it has flavor. Let's just try it. All you want to do is kind of slice it and then dice it, and pretty rough dice. It doesn't have to be very small or anything, because what I like is the texture in my food. So you still want to, think about it, that when you're trying your chicken or any recipe and suddenly you get a little crunch in your mouth, it's nice. Throw your onion in. And the onions, garlic, and some of the, what else I wanted to add is actually these jalapeno peppers. So be ready, be prepared. The rice is coming to a boil. I'm just going to put it on low heat and cover it. Let's chop the rest of it. Any questions from our audience? What do you think? I can only see the smiles. I no questions so far. All right, so let's slice this one as well. See the big pieces? That's what you want. All of this is going to go in and create this wonderful sauce. This is just a start. Great. Get your heat up. Let's chop these jalapenos. And if you like it like hot like I do, you can use other peppers too, like serrano is really hot. So go for it. Especially when it's cold weather like this in Wisconsin. I mean, what are you going to do? You need some hot and spicy food. And then go and shovel your drive after that. That's how it works. One more. So just slice it in half and then just chop it. I can start smelling it. It's just wonderful. All right. Then we're just going to add a little bit of garlic. So, I know. Maybe I should take it back. A bit of garlic. This is my bit. Just a little bit more. And there. And you will be fine. Get your mince out. That's what I'm going to say. See, this is what's going to make the sauce. It's just, look at it. It's just so beautiful. I'll show you. This is what's going to make your sauce for your chicken. How else would you get the flavors? There's no other way, believe me. So, there, as it starts to saute all together, we'll add the chicken in just a minute. I want the garlic to actually make friends with the onions first, and then we will go for it. So let it saute for a little bit. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to finish the chicken, look at our rice, and make the zucchini, and your dinner is ready. Hello everyone, and welcome to White Jasmine Everyday Cooking. So look at our beautiful sauce. It's just cooking in here with a bunch of, what did I add? A bunch of garlic, of course. How can we forget about that? And some green onions, not some green onions, some yellow onions and jalapeno peppers. That's all is there in the sauce. And some whole spices as well. So let's add our chicken, which is sitting very happily in here with all the spices in there. So make sure all your spices go in too. And our studio audience were asking me about the garlic. So the garlic that I added, if you're using the fresh garlic, it will be about 2 heads of the garlic. So don't be shy about adding that. It's okay. It will all turn out fine in the end. And your heart is just going to be very happy with it. That's what you want in the end, isn't it? So we're just going to mix it all together add a bunch of cilantro. So our sort of last layer of our flavor. So, you know, cooking all this stuff is pretty easy. If you think about it, just throw in your ingredients, just throw in, you know, your fresh kind of cilantro, your green onions, whatever you want, and then it will create all these flavors that you love. So, you know, when people say, well, you know, I'm stressed out about cooking, well, let's make it simple and let's make it easy. And then you might as well start to enjoy it. Who knows, things can happen. So throw that in here. Mix it all, just add a bit of water for it to make that sauce. So now we added a little bit of warm water to the chicken, and what you want to do is kind of leave it on lower heat and cover it and let it cook. Before we do that, I want to show you our rice because I think it's ready. So let's make some room for it. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, it's ready. Makes me so happy. I don't know why. But look at our rice. It's just beautiful. The colors, the grains, how it, you know, it's all separated. That's what you want. So it has to come from the water. Your water has to be right. So I'm just going to leave it for just a couple of more minutes and we are good to go. Then we'll switch it off. We're done. So 1 down, 2 to go. Let's see what is happening here. Just lower heat and let's cover it. I think that's good. And let's chop our zucchini. So here is, look at this beautiful fresh zucchini. I love it. And what you can make out of it is just fabulous. And it's a very, very simple recipe. You will see, you will be amazed because it's just so easy to make. Zucchini is not, you know, everybody's favorite really vegetable, but you can actually enhance it and make it just very, very flavorful. So I like to leave the skin on, and you just kind of slice it. And then we will just add a little bit of oil and some whole cumin and some ground cumin, a little bit of chili powder, and that's all. And a bit of salt, of course. That's all is going to, you know, is going to happen in here. And we'll take just maybe like 5 minutes, and you'll have a side dish. How wonderful is that? So this whole menu, actually, you can make it during the weeknight if you wanted to. You know, it takes about 45 minutes to order a pizza. Just saying. So here. And I want to show you the sort of the final rice. And then we are going to start making the zucchini. Let's see. One more time. Yeah, now it's really ready. So see this, all this color. I want to show you the peppers. Everything is cooked and everything is beautiful and wonderful as we want it, as always. So let's switch this one off. And I like to make the rice first because it, you know, just needs to kind of keep working while you're making your entree. The timing works out really well. That's another thing when you're cooking or you're making your menu, just remember to think about the recipes and how they are going to fit in with each other. Very important. So let's put this out. Let's move this one over here. And our zucchini. So we're just going to warm up the pan as always. And I'm going to just keep slicing these. Any questions now? Yes? Yes, it stays fresh. And you can, if there's any dust or anything, it kind of settles at the bottom. So you can just take it, keep taking it from the top, easier. And you can leave it like this in your refrigerator for probably like a day or two, easily. And if you still have some left, which I don't know why you would, but if you're not cooking, or then what you can do is take it out of the water and put it in a, in one of these towels and just put it in the fridge if you're going to use it. Otherwise, chop it up and put it, add a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of water, put it in ice cube trays. And you can just save it like that. So take a couple of cubes out and use it. So we'll take a short break as I'm slicing all these zucchini, and then we'll come back, make this, and get our chicken ready, and dinner will be served. Welcome back to White Jasmine Everyday Cooking. We are almost done with our food. Our chicken is cooking away, and look, I just want to show you. Has a beautiful sauce around it, which was the intention in the first place. And there you go. Now see that, all that sauce? With onions floating in here with a bunch of garlic, you can tell. It's just going to be amazing. And the chicken is cooking. Look at that. Just beautifully. So we'll leave it in here for a couple more minutes until we make the zucchini. So cover it, leave it to cook. And this pan is warm. Add some olive oil. You want to make, add enough oil to coat the pan first. And also remember that we have a bunch of zucchini here, so we need a bit of oil. Let's add some whole cumin. And as it starts to sizzle, just going to add the zucchini. And you want to keep the skin on, at least I like it, because it adds more color, it adds more flavor, it has all the nutrients, Why take it out? Doesn't make sense. Just add all of this. And these are pretty, they're not thin strips, they're pretty good sized strips. And what you want to do, I like my vegetables to be a little crunchy. I don't know about you. I don't know how many people like it mushy, but you want to have some texture, you want to keep it a little bit crunchy. So this is going to just be, really wonderful, because you just saute it for a few minutes with the spices and you're good to go. How easy can it be? So no more complaining about don't have time to cook. Because all these dishes, you can make it during the week, you can make it on the weekends. Food is a very important part of our lives. And I think sometimes we forget that make some great food, sit down and enjoy it with your family and friends. Those are the moments that you want in your life. So let's add a bit of salt. And don't be shy about adding the salt. It's, your body does need some. So think about that. Everything in proportion is good. A little bit of chili powder. And a little bit of our ground cumin. This adds just another layer of flavor. So just, 3 spices basically. And you want to lower the heat a little, because you don't want your spices to burn. Let's see if we have a bit of water. Yeah, we do. Just add a little bit of water. And what it will do is kind of bring the spices together. That's what you want. So look at this zucchini. It's looking pretty happy in here. And the color stays very well because the skin is on, and it stays a little bit crunchy. When you're going to try it, you will see how delicious it turns out to be. All right. Any questions? Final call before we try it. No? I think they're all hungry. That's all. No more delays, huh? Okay. So this is done. Our chicken is done, I think. Yep. So let's start to plate out. how do you want to plate? You want your plate to look beautiful. So take a bunch of rice. How colorful this is. A bit of your chicken. Just kind of move it around a little bit. Mix it well. Get the sauce, the most important. A bit of your zucchini. Let's switch this off. Because that's all you have to do. It barely takes 5 minutes to saute it. All you want, the goal really here is to make sure that all your spices get wrapped around your zucchini. And that's what you need. So a few sticks of your zucchini here. Let's get this spoon. And I love fresh vegetables, as you can tell. But it's such a big, important part of your diet. So look at this plate. Doesn't it look wonderful? I hope you get a chance to try all these recipes, and I will see you next week.